It's not easy to be compassionate. It's actually hard work to journey with others when they are weak, vulnerable, lonely, and suffering. Often our instinct is to flee from it, or, honestly, to find a quick solution to make it not hurt so bad. So, as we grieve so many losses, it is difficult to know how to help each other, and so many people ask me that. What can I do? But when we're able to witness each other's grief or pain, we can make a difference. So I thought today I would like to share a story that has been handed down in time in many faith traditions. It's a simple story, and I hope that it will speak to you as much as it did to me. An elder was nearing the end of her life. As she closed her eyes one night, she saw a bright light and was transported to another realm. She didn't die that night. Instead, she returned to the living, and when she did, her family was gathered around her bedside. She smiled, and she whispered to her children, "I think I know the answer." "What do you mean?" the children said. "Heaven and hell. I have seen them both, and I know the difference." The children were confused. "What do you mean, Mom?" So the elder went on to explain, "I came upon a door, and behind it was this huge hall. What I saw confused me because there was a dining hall filled with rows of tables, each table teeming with magnificent food. Big pots of stew, the smells were wonderful. It looked and it smelled delicious. Yet the people seated around the tables were emaciated and sickly looking. They were moaning and hungry and very, very sad. As I came closer, I realized that each person had a very long spoon in their hand. With it, they could reach that big pot of stew in the center of the table. But the spoon was so long, and as they tried and then tried again, they couldn't bring the food to their mouth. Instead, the food spilled off the spoon. In spite of the abundance before them, they were starving." She then continued, "So I left this very sad place, and I opened a new door. But before I left, I realized that was hell. This one led to something that looked very similar. Inside, I was surprised to see almost the same scene before my eyes. A dining hall filled with tables, rows and rows of tables, and on those tables a wonderful feast and big pots of wonderful smelling stew. But instead of moaning with hunger, the people around the tables were sitting contentedly talking with one another, satisfied from the abundance before them. Like those in hell, these people were holding very long spoons. I watched closely, and I saw a woman dip her spoon into the bowl of stew before her. But rather than struggling to feed herself, she extended her spoon out and fed the man seated across from her. This person, now satisfied and no longer hungry, gave thanks and returned the favor, leaning across the table to feed the woman. I understood the difference between heaven and hell. That was heaven. And so the elder said, "It is neither the qualities of the place nor the abundance of the resources, but the way people treat each other." Or as Jesus said, "Love one another."